Hi, I'm back again on this subject of migration, which has to be dealt with, and I'm over at the farm and on my own here tonight, and soon be going to bed. But I made a video there a minute ago, and now this one as well, just on it. And so Tony Coogan, 7532. They're all usernames, no problem with that. People don't want to give their ordinary name. But if it comes to a debate, everyone will have to be identified. There'll be no hiding under the bed. But what he says is, I implore you to take this video down. This sort of thing is bad optics. Now, so first of all, he begs me to take down the video. Right. Well, the first question I'd ask him is, why? What's wrong with the video? Is it not the truth? And this sort of thing is bad optics. So is optics what matters? Is bad optics for who? Is it bad optics for that hotel, for the person who's making money by capitalising on the migration coming in? Is it bad optics for Ireland's image abroad? And if it is, who is important? Is it the people of Ireland, or is it what people think of us? What's so bad about it? And this is what, if I can keep at this, this is what you're going to get. I'm not going to give up this, if I can. So what is the optics? I mean, the optics. I hate these cliches. I hate these modern, is the right word euphemism? I prefer to call a spade a spade. I don't care what the optics are. I don't care. I'm a son of the soil of Ireland, an Irishman through and through, and I'm entitled to speak my mind. And I actually don't think I'm a savage at all. I don't think I'm all that hard on people. Now, I'll be making one video on this about Assie Bibi, and I think that might explain the position. They wouldn't let her come into Ireland, a woman sentenced to death by a Muslim court at the behest of Muslims in Pakistan. And Ireland refused her entry, and Theresa May refused her entry and said she was afraid it would offend Muslims. Now, Geert Wilders in Holland, he tells the Muslims, either you comply now or you knuckle down or you get the hell out. I didn't say that yet. I haven't said that yet. So I wonder what this optics is. I'd like to hear it. Is it that you're a nanny stater? You believe everything should be controlled? Or what do you believe? What is your ultimate thing? I don't owe anyone anything. I work for anything I ever got. I want a good law and order government, and I know that the more of these migrants we get, the more chaos you're going to have. The law and order in those countries, you couldn't start to explain it. It's nothing like what we have here, and this is what the left craves. Now, there's two replies to that there, if I can get them up, and maybe I can't because there's all these technical issues. There you are now, I can't see it. What are they? Oh yeah. Why should he? All I hear is the truth. So that's Cat L156. So, Tony Coogan, will you answer Cat there? Explain where am I telling a lie? Explain it. Give it a go there. I know it's not easy on social media. I have locked horns with these people on politics.ie and other social media platforms, and I know exactly what they're made of. And they've had to ban me in the end. So answer that question. Is this not the truth? I mean, that's still in the crane there. What's it doing there? Right? Now, Mullah, you obviously are a do-gooder. And I'm obviously very far right. Fantastic. Okay, again, a little bit muffled and all that. Well, the do-gooders do a lot of harm. I'm not against a bit of charity or a bit of help. I'm very much pro-animals and all that sort of stuff. And for good, I get terribly annoyed when I see children and old people being abused and all of that. So it's to stop abuse of people that I am campaigning. But we have to realise there's proper do-gooders, and there's do-gooders who just can see no harm in anybody. And until somebody gets killed, they won't agree that there's bad in anybody. And I don't agree that's the position. If that were the position, you wouldn't need the criminal law at all. Everyone would obey the law. And in Iceland, where there's about 320,000 people, roughly, There was only one murder in it in the last several decades, and that was a fella came in from Greenland, and he murdered a woman because they're so open there and everything. He murdered a woman. And the idea that we can't have our young women and all that going about and enjoying themselves without being killed is obnoxious to me. But I'm open to debate on this, and I love debating. And so that's just the opinion there. They say it's NIMBYism, not in my backyard. What's wrong with my backyard? What's wrong? I don't want the windmills in my backyard. And the European law says that they have to be assessed, and that there has to be an assessment of the proximity to houses, and that was ruled by the European Court of Justice, and the Irish government refuses. Now, to abide by that, I have to go to court to prove my rights. Am I a NIMBY? Not in my backyard. I don't care. I want to protect the bit of place I have. My people lived here peacefully for years, and I want to do the same. What's wrong with that? So, folks, what you should be seeing here is, I can't know what I'm going to do. People say run for election. Remember that although I would easily get elected if there was only one seat in all of Ireland, it's a different thing to stand in one constituency. There could be only 200 people supporting me in the constituency I'm in. You see, there might be 5,000 in the whole country, and that's what many will find out. Even the National Party and the Irish Freedom Party. Is this movement growing? Now, I agree with Brexit, there is that there, and I agree that a lot of people voted down the EU in Ireland in the Lisbon Treaty, and I agree that people voted for Trump. So it's very hard to quantify it. But the grip of the old parties is still very strong. So please understand that. It's no good, as someone posted the other day, unfortunately I'm in the north of Ireland, only for that I'd vote for you. Well, it's good to get the support, but the only way you can support a party is to contribute financially to the party. We look at that in the new year. You can't vote. You can only vote in your own constituency. And that's a different kettle of fish. That is a different kettle of fish. You're up against the pothole down the lane. You're up against some grant for some kind of an ostrich or something. You're up against all of this sort of stuff, and you're up against tradition. It is not that easy to get people elected on this banner in Ireland, particularly when we have the RTE and the mainstream media all against us. It's not going to be easy. But if we put the argument sensibly and straight, we might have a go. We already have forced the government to cut the dole for these, as somebody here says, unfortunate. Is it he says, Paddy Moriarty, terrible to see racism become so acceptable. And I asked him who, is it me he considers racism? He hasn't clarified that. Examples will have to be made before it gets out of hand. Well, they won't make an example of me because I stay within the law. And even to change the law to hate speech, I may challenge that in the High Court. So you're not going to beat me with the law too easy. You'll get it very, very hard because I know the law inside out. I don't know the law when I can read it out frontwards. I need to be able to read it backwards. Without the law in front of me, that's the way I go. So examples will have to be made before it gets out of hand. Down with this sort of thing. Well, Paddy, I'll be you hopefully someday. We'll be locking horns, and there'll be re-raw and rulia boolia. But it's very important if I'm picking up Paddy right, and there's a response there to it. This is the one now on the night the hotel in Carrickmacross. I asked him, can you clarify? And let's see, he answered, I'm sure, what Paddy has responded to me is, I'm sure the rule's been drawn up by your betters. Now again, there you are, you see the insulting, you see the inferiority complex of Paddy Moriarty, my betters. Yeah, there's somebody better than you. Obviously Eamon Ryan or Helen McEntee. I'm sure, he's sure. Oh, sure won't do. If you're in a debate with me, Paddy, you needn't be saying you're sure. I won't accept you're sure. You're going to have to give your reasons in English, right? You're sure. Your sure won't do. I won't accept it. The minute you say I'm sure, I'll cut across you straight away. I want to know what, why, and where. What's this certainty from? I'm sure the rule's been drawn up by your betters. Well, you can decide who's my betters. I don't know. Is this better? Would it be, for example, if I was in a mixed martial art ring and I'm getting to be a fairly advanced citizen, Would the betters be the ones that could beat me? I wonder would they be able to beat me with the bare fists? I don't know. Or is it what? Is it in a court? Well, I've locked horns in the courts a few times. I had 7 barristers against me in the case of the pylon thing. I didn't do too bad. Didn't even have I only had one note taker. So the betters, who's the betters like? Who decides who the betters are? I think that shows Paddy has an inferiority complex. He has a stuck in the muck working class attitude. We must never raise our heads above what we are. I think that's what that means. But the rules being drawn up now, and he also says about the rules being drawn up. Obviously, there's no rules yet, so he thinks there's going to be rules. What does he base that on? We'll make that crystal clear. Whenever did we get crystal clarity from the left? Never, never, ever. Another pipe dream. But for me personally, as a humanitarian, I would say, so he's a humanitarian as well. I would say anyone who isn't for mass migration into Ireland, and he has a sign there, I think that means bad. Again, I won't delete that, but in future, unless you finish your sentence, Paddy, and you make it clear what you're saying, I will delete your post. You have to make it clear. A little emoji won't do. I want it clear and distinct, and you will not get away in an argument with me with waffle. I won't have it from you. I won't take it. You won't last 2 seconds with me in a debate. You'll have to say what you mean, right? And if I get the teeth fixed, I'll leave me more positive. So that's the story. Then somebody says here, ignore him. He's a specific troll, but he does engender a bit of debate, and eventually we'll have to get maybe to ignore him. But for now, there's no harm having a wee bit of crack. Very good, folks. We have graves in Ireland from this, and there will be more graves. And as fella said, it's a grave situation, if you'll forgive the pun. But that's the situation anyway. These are confused. The left are confused. They have an inferiority complex. They want the state to run everything for them. They want all the goodies. The Democratic Party in the left. They have no self-confidence. They have no ability to think for themselves. They don't want engineering to be used to measure the contribution of renewable energy or electric cars or anything else. They want to live in this pipe dream world, and I fortunately am a realist, and I challenge them on it, and they lose the run of themselves. But you're not going to beat me if I have my health. I make that point, touch wood. You won't beat me in a debate. You might, but you're going to have to work hard. And you needn't be bringing a big book and picking out page and paragraph and saying, oh, and so such a book and such a thing. You're going to have to explain it clearly. You won't get away. You won't get away with me. I'll tell you that. You won't beat me too well. I'm well able to whack these. I debated when I was drunk with other lads that was drunk. It'll not matter. So, but anyway, it's all good. It's all good debate. And so we have to. It's good to see this rising up. Maybe instead of, well, we have that before. This fellow believes we should be understanding. And I'd ask these people who say we should be understanding, who are they? What do you know about them? What's their past? Have the convictions? Have they killed? Have they raped in their own country? What countries are they from? What do you know about them? If you don't know about them, then you're talking bullshit, because you're only guessing. And guessing won't do in this case. Folks, that's it. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. We'll see you back for something else.